Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're delving into another harrowing case that has left a lasting impact. This case takes us to a vast landfill site, 60 miles south of Melbourne, Australia. Picture a sprawling dump with towering piles of domestic waste. Birds circle above these meter-high mounds, and the foul smell of decomposing garbage spreads for miles. This place is typically devoid of human presence, a stark landscape of refuse and decay. However, in May 2004, this desolate site became the center of an intense police investigation. Hundreds of officers scoured through the trash, clad in protective suits and ultra-durable masks, to guard against the biological hazards and asbestos-laden dirt. The scene resembled something out of an apocalyptic movie. Their mission: to find the bodies of a missing mother and daughter, Anna and Gracie Sharp. The search was arduous. Each day, officers sifted through thousands of blue trash bags, a painstaking process that significantly delayed the investigation. After 3 exhausting weeks, morale was low, and physical resources were nearly depleted. On what seemed like the final day of searching, Carrie Farver, a dedicated young woman from the Missing Persons Department, noticed a blue bag stuck to an excavator's bucket. Inside, she found what at first appeared to be a kitchen glove, but upon closer inspection, she realized it was a bloated, decomposing human hand. Fraser's scream signaled the end of the search. They had found Anna and Gracie. This discovery leads us to Mornington Island, a place of natural beauty and a mild climate, yet the backdrop to a nightmare. In May 2004, John Sharp made a tearful plea on television, holding a photograph of his wife and daughter, begging for information about their disappearance. Anna Sharp and her 18-month-old daughter Gracie had been missing since March. Today, we will uncover the story behind their disappearance and the shocking truth that eventually came to light. Let's begin by exploring the lives of those involved and the events that led to this tragic outcome. In the dense fog of the early morning, the landfill site south of Melbourne exuded an eerie stillness, interrupted only by the occasional cry of scavenging birds. This desolate place, typically a graveyard of discarded remnants of human life, was suddenly teeming with the presence of hundreds of police officers. They moved methodically, clad in protective gear that shielded them from the hazards of decomposing waste and the dangers of asbestos-contaminated soil. It was May 2004, and the vast expanse of rubbish was now a critical crime scene. Among the dedicated team of officers was Carrie Farver, a seasoned investigator from the Missing Persons Department. Known for her tenacity and unwavering commitment, Farver had taken on the harrowing task of finding Anna and Gracie Sharp. This mother and daughter had vanished under suspicious circumstances, and the mounting evidence pointed to the grim possibility that their bodies were hidden somewhere within the landfill's morass. Each day of the search was a grueling ordeal. The landfill stretched over a seemingly endless expanse, with mountains of waste that towered ominously, creating a maze of potential hiding places. Officers worked in shifts, enduring the overpowering stench and the physical toll of sifting through heaps of trash. The sight of blue trash bags, which had become a symbol of hope and dread, was both a beacon and a curse. Each bag had to be meticulously examined, as any one of them could contain the remains they were desperately seeking. The search team faced numerous challenges. The sheer volume of trash was overwhelming, with new waste arriving daily, complicating the already Herculean task. The terrain was treacherous, with hidden pockets of hazardous materials posing constant risks. The psychological strain was immense as the officers battled not just the physical conditions, but also the emotional weight of the potential discovery. They were driven by the urgency of giving closure to Anna and Gracie's loved ones, yet each passing day without a breakthrough chipped away at their morale. Then came a turning point. As the search neared its 3rd exhausting week, exhaustion and frustration permeated the air. Officers pushed on despite the dwindling hope, their efforts fueled by a collective determination not to leave any stone unturned. On what seemed like just another day of relentless digging, Carrie Farver, ever vigilant and deeply invested in the case, noticed something peculiar. A blue bag caught on the bucket of an excavator, its position oddly conspicuous. Fraser approached the bag, her heart pounding with a mix of dread and anticipation. She carefully opened it, her hands trembling slightly as she sifted through its contents. Amidst the refuse, she spotted something that made her blood run cold. A bloated, decomposing hand. For a moment, she stood frozen, the realization of what she had found sinking in. The hand was unmistakably human, a macabre clue that confirmed their worst fears. Her scream pierced the heavy silence of the landfill, a chilling sound that drew her colleagues to her side. The discovery marked a pivotal moment in the investigation. They had found Anna and Gracie, buried beneath the refuse, discarded as if they were mere trash. The painstaking efforts of the search team had finally paid off, though the victory was tinged with the sorrow of the grim reality they had uncovered. The recovery of the remains was a somber task, carried out with the utmost care and respect. Narelle Fraser's discovery had not only brought a crucial piece of evidence to light, but also ensured that Anna and Gracie's story would be told. It was a testament to the relentless dedication of the police force and the importance of never giving up, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. The landfill, once a place of desolation, had now become the final resting place of a tragic story. The discovery of Anna and Gracie's remains marked the beginning of the end for the investigation, paving the way for justice to be served. Narelle Fraser's role in this critical moment highlighted the profound impact of persistence and the unwavering quest for truth in the face of darkness. As we delve deeper into the heart-wrenching discovery at the landfill, it's essential to understand the poignant story of the victims, Anna Sharp and her daughter Gracie. Their lives, tragically cut short, were marked by love, struggle, and an untimely end that shook their community to its core. Anna Sharp was a dedicated mother, known for her warm smile and kind heart. She had a deep love for her daughter, Gracie, a spirited and bright-eyed child who brought joy to everyone she met. Their bond was unbreakable, a testament to Anna's nurturing nature and Gracie's affectionate disposition. Friends and family often spoke of the duo's inseparable nature, a perfect picture of mother-daughter love. However, the picture-perfect facade hid darker undertones. John Sharp, Anna's husband and Gracie's father, was a man of few words. To the outside world, he appeared to be a devoted family man, but behind closed doors, the reality was starkly different. Tensions simmered beneath the surface, and those close to the family sensed an undercurrent of unease, though few could have predicted the catastrophic events to come. The timeline of their disappearance began innocuously enough. In March 2004, Anna and Gracie seemingly vanished without a trace. At first, their absence raised little alarm. Perhaps they had taken a short trip or were visiting friends. But as days turned into weeks with no word from either mother or daughter, concern escalated into dread. John Sharp's behavior during this period was nothing short of perplexing. On April 6, 2004, he appeared on national television, making a tearful plea for the safe return of his wife and daughter. The image of John, a seemingly heartbroken father, imploring the public for help, was seared into the minds of those who watched. His pleas seemed genuine, his distress palpable. He spoke of his love for Anna and Gracie, painting a picture of a desperate man yearning for his family's return. Yet, behind the veneer of anguish lay inconsistencies that would soon unravel his facade. The initial investigation into Anna and Gracie's disappearance began earnestly, with police officers canvassing the neighborhood, speaking to friends, family, and acquaintances. Flyers were distributed, and the media circulated their photos, hoping for any leads. The community rallied together, holding vigils and prayer sessions, all united in their hope for a miracle. As investigators delved deeper, they began to notice cracks in John Sharp's story. His accounts of the days leading up to the disappearance were riddled with contradictions. He seemed evasive, often providing vague answers to straightforward questions. His demeanor, when not in the public eye, shifted from distressed to strangely detached. Friends of the family recalled his odd behavior at social gatherings, where he often seemed aloof and uninterested in discussing the search for his wife and daughter. The turning point came when forensic evidence began to paint a damning picture. investigators discovered that John had made several suspicious purchases in the weeks leading up to the disappearance, including a new freezer and an industrial-sized bag of lime. Additionally, surveillance footage showed him disposing of large, heavy objects at the landfill, where Anna and Gracie's remains would eventually be found. Faced with mounting evidence, John Sharp's mask of grief and innocence began to slip. Under intense interrogation, his carefully constructed narrative crumbled, revealing the horrifying truth. He confessed to the brutal murders of Anna and Gracie, detailing the cold-blooded premeditation behind his actions. John had meticulously planned the killings, believing that their deaths would free him from what he perceived as an unbearable domestic life. The revelation sent shockwaves through the community. The same man who had once tearfully pleaded for his family's return had, in reality, orchestrated their deaths. The initial shock gave way to an outpouring of grief and anger. How could a father commit such an unspeakable act? What darkness had driven him to murder his own child and her mother? The case of Anna and Gracie Sharp became a chilling reminder of the depths of human depravity. It highlighted the often hidden struggles within families and the masks people wear to conceal their true selves. The community, while devastated by the loss, found solace in the tireless efforts of the police and the eventual delivery of justice. John Sharp was arrested and charged with the murders of his wife and daughter. His trial was swift, and he was convicted, receiving a life sentence without the possibility of parole. The courtroom, packed with those who had followed the case with heavy hearts, watched as the man who had betrayed his family was finally held accountable for his heinous crimes. The story of Anna and Gracie Sharp, though tragic, serves as a powerful testament to the resilience of a community and the relentless pursuit of justice by law enforcement. It is a story that underscores the importance of vigilance and compassion, reminding us all of the fragility of life and the ever-present need to protect those we love. Anna Kemp was born and raised in a close-knit community in Melbourne. She was the youngest of 3 siblings, known for her vivacious spirit and compassionate heart. From a young age, Anna demonstrated a remarkable ability to connect with people, often acting as a peacemaker among her friends and family. Her natural empathy and kindness were qualities that endeared her to everyone she met. Anna excelled academically, earning a degree in social work. She dedicated her career to helping those in need, working with various community organizations to support vulnerable families. Her passion for making a difference was evident in everything she did, and she was highly respected by her colleagues and clients alike. In her mid-20s, Anna met John Miles Sharp through mutual friends. Their initial connection was strong, marked by a shared love for outdoor activities and a mutual desire for a stable, loving relationship. John seemed to be the perfect match for Anna, and their relationship quickly blossomed into a deep and committed partnership. John Miles Sharp came from a different background. Raised in a suburban neighborhood, John was an introverted and private individual. He was the only child of a conservative family, where discipline and order were highly valued. John excelled in technical subjects and pursued a career in accounting, a field that suited his meticulous and detail-oriented nature. Unlike Anna, John struggled with social interactions and often found solace in structured routines and solitary activities. Despite his reserved demeanor, he was drawn to Anna's warmth and enthusiasm. Her outgoing personality seemed to complement his introversion, and he admired her dedication to her work and her community. Anna and John met at a friend's barbecue, where Anna's lively conversation and John's quiet intelligence sparked an unexpected connection. They found common ground in their shared love for nature, spending weekends hiking and exploring the Australian countryside. Their relationship moved quickly, and within a year, they decided to get married. Their wedding was a modest affair, attended by close friends and family. Anna's family welcomed John with open arms, and for a while, the couple appeared to be the epitome of marital bliss. They bought a house in a peaceful suburb of Melbourne, where they envisioned building a life together. In 2001, Anna and John welcomed their daughter, Gracie, into the world. Gracie's arrival brought immense joy to the couple, and Anna embraced motherhood with her characteristic passion and dedication. She balanced her career and her new role as a mother with grace and enthusiasm, often taking Gracie to community events and social gatherings. John, on the other hand, struggled to adjust to the demands of parenthood. The responsibilities of caring for an infant, combined with the pressures of his job, began to weigh heavily on him. He found it difficult to express his feelings and often withdrew into himself, leaving Anna to shoulder the majority of the parenting duties. As the years passed, the differences in Anna and John's temperaments became more pronounced. Anna's outgoing nature and social commitments often clashed with John's need for solitude and order. She thrived in her busy, dynamic environment, while he felt increasingly overwhelmed by the chaos of family life. Anna's work as a social worker required long hours and emotional investment, which sometimes left her with little energy for John's needs. John, feeling neglected and unsupported, began to harbor resentment towards Anna. Their once strong bond started to fray, with frequent arguments and misunderstandings becoming a common occurrence. John's frustrations were exacerbated by his inability to communicate effectively. He often bottled up his emotions, leading to explosive outbursts that left Anna bewildered and hurt. She, in turn, struggled to understand John's perspective, as his actions seemed irrational and unjustified to her. The couple's differing approaches to parenting further strained their relationship. Anna was nurturing and patient, encouraging Gracie's curiosity and independence. John, however, favored a more structured and disciplined approach, often clashing with Anna over how to raise their daughter. Despite their efforts to resolve their issues, the distance between Anna and John continued to grow. Anna sought solace in her work and her social circle, while John retreated further into his shell. Their home, once filled with laughter and love, became a battleground of unspoken grievances and simmering tensions. John's behavior became increasingly erratic. He began to isolate himself, spending long hours away from home and becoming more secretive about his activities. Anna, sensing something was deeply wrong, tried to reach out to him, but her attempts were met with hostility and indifference. The tipping point came in early 2004 when John made the fateful decision that would forever change their lives. Consumed by his internal struggles and unable to see a way out of his perceived predicament, John began to plot a course of action that would end in tragedy. As the days turned into weeks following Anna and Gracie Sharp's disappearance, the police intensified their efforts to uncover the truth. Initial sympathy for John Sharp began to wane as investigators meticulously pieced together the events leading up to the disappearance. Sharp's inconsistent statements and unusual behavior raised red flags, prompting the police to place him under close surveillance. Detectives scrutinized every aspect of Sharp's life. They reviewed his phone records, monitored his movements, and re-interviewed friends, family, and neighbors. Forensic experts conducted thorough examinations of the Sharp residence, uncovering traces of blood that had seeped into the flooring and walls, despite John's efforts to clean the scene. These discoveries contradicted Sharp's narrative and pointed to a violent confrontation within the home. The breakthrough in the case came from a combination of forensic evidence and psychological profiling. Investigators received a tip about a recent purchase John had made: a spear gun, which he had not disclosed during his interviews. The spear gun, typically used for underwater fishing, seemed out of place for someone like John, who had no known interest in the sport. This purchase became a critical piece of evidence. On May 19, 2004, acting on a tip, police conducted a targeted search of a landfill site 60 miles south of Melbourne. Amidst the mountains of refuse, they discovered the decomposing bodies of Anna and Gracie Sharp, wrapped in tarpaulins. The discovery was a devastating confirmation of their worst fears and a turning point in the investigation. Faced with the overwhelming evidence, John Sharp was arrested. During intense interrogation, Sharp's calm demeanor began to fracture. Confronted with the evidence of his crimes, he broke down and confessed. In chilling detail, he described how he had killed his wife and daughter in cold blood, revealing the extent of his premeditation and lack of remorse. John Sharp's confession was a harrowing account of domestic violence taken to its most extreme conclusion. On the night of March 23, 2004, John had waited until Anna and Gracie were asleep. Under the cover of darkness, he retrieved the spear gun he had hidden in the garage. He first approached Anna's side of the bed and, without hesitation, shot her in the head. The noise from the gun was enough to awaken Gracie, who began to cry. John then moved to his daughter's room. In a horrifying act, he used the spear gun to end her life as well. The brutality of the murders shocked even the most seasoned investigators. Afterward, he meticulously cleaned the crime scene, wrapped the bodies in tarpaulins, and stored them in the garage until he could dispose of them at the landfill. The trial of John Sharp began in the fall of 2004. The courtroom was packed with media, family members, and members of the public, all eager to see justice served. The prosecution presented a compelling case, detailing the premeditated nature of the murders and the calculated steps John had taken to cover them up. John Sharp's own confession played a central role in the proceedings. In a monotone voice, he recounted the events of that fateful night, his actions in the aftermath, and his attempts to mislead investigators. His lack of emotion and apparent detachment during the confession were chilling, underscoring the cold-blooded nature of his crimes. On December 20th, 2004, the jury found John Sharp guilty of the murders of Anna and Gracie Sharp. The judge, in delivering the sentence, condemned Sharp's actions as a betrayal of the most fundamental human trust, that of a parent and spouse. Sharp was sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms, with a minimum of 33 years before he would be eligible for parole. Today, John Sharp remains in solitary confinement in a maximum security prison. His case has left an indelible mark on the Australian public, earning him the grim nickname, the Mornington Monster. Sharp's infamy is a constant reminder of the depths of human depravity and the devastating consequences of unchecked domestic violence. The legacy of Anna and Gracie Sharp lives on, not only as a somber reminder of their tragic end, but also as a catalyst for ongoing discussions about domestic violence and the importance of vigilance in protecting those at risk. The story of the Sharp family continues to resonate, urging society to remain alert and supportive to prevent such tragedies in the future.